From this moment on, you will now be known as Sharkbait.
Sharkbait! Ooh-ha-ha!
Welcome, brother Sharkbait.
Sharkbait! Ooh-ha-ha!
Enough of the Sharkbait.
Sharkbait! Ooh, bop.
What's up, everybody? This is D from Brooklyn with an update on the Nano Cube with my new batch of Molly Fry. I know some people are like, D, why do all of this stuff for mollies? I'm gonna give you that answer in one simple line right here. Because I can. These guys are 100% saltwater bred, except the Dalmatian, which has been in here about 2 weeks if I'm not mistaken. These fry here, which I have about a dozen or so, are doing very nicely. Hard to focus on them because they're so small, but there you can see a couple there, really good. They're not being bothered by any of the larger fry. And I have my little breeder nest here, which I'll show you how I made really easily. And they are eating very well. I believe my other female here is also carrying another batch of fry. But the Molly to Fry Reef Nano project is going very well. These guys were originally in my pond last summer. If you want any information about that, go back to see my pond, my 70-gallon outdoor container pond last year. They were brought in to salinity of 1.025, which is basically the same that the frag tank is running on. This water is basically going from this tank to this tank, and this tank water goes into the trash. So that's how I do my water changes for the Nano Cube. I pull it from this salinity into this salinity when I do a water change, which may be a little odd, but since I'm dosing elements into this tank and the balance is already established, I'd rather do that than dose a tank with these brackish water fish in it, which may or may not adapt so well, but they're doing fine. These guys are basically living in my Chaeto nest, which also helps with the filtration of the tank. There's my neon goby here, which is really active and doing very well. Einstein, give him a flash, Einstein, come up. Pretty much comes right to me when I come up to the tank. Really cool. So you know that these are saltwater fish. My peppermint shrimp I added the other day because mollies like to poop, and they poop and they poop, which gives me a little bit of hair algae, which I've been letting them eat. They pecking on it. I feed them every other day with the exception of the fry. I feed my First Bites, which I love by Hikara. I've been feeding all my fry this for a long time. It really puts some weight on them. I gotta go into the ingredients at another video of this stuff and some food. I did a video a long time ago about various fish foods and what is in them and how do you know what to feed which fish, but for the most part it's putting some growth on the fry. I'm seeing full bellies. I feed them about a little bit of a fingernail full, which kind of coats the surface of the water, and they just feed on it. Of course the other mollies are greedy as hell and they also feed on it, but everybody's doing good. This female I added, this female here has been behaving herself. I tried to add males more than once and they can get kind of rough with the females. So I have my one male, if I can catch him, which was actually a child of one of the females in here. It's hard to find them because I have only the blue lights on. Let me turn my daylights up. I keep the blue lights on so that it doesn't promote so much algae growth, but you can see you got the algae that these guys love to feed on. Yeah, that's much easier to see now. They love to feed on that, so I leave it. Even the goby sits on it, which is really funny. And I think it's really important for the fry, the molly fry, to have some natural foods in addition to the fish food that I'm giving them. That guy's got a long line of poop on him. And I also have a huge Mexican turbo snail there, which, as you can see, the algae, this guy just gravitates to. I clean the glass, I leave algae on the branch. When I feel like cleaning it off, I'll just brush it right off. But really good, really good. And as you also know, with a tank this new, you go through the cycle. And letting the algae kind of handle those additional nutrients is a really good way to deal with this cycle, rather than fight it, let it run its course, and then deal with it. There's my male. I don't have a name for this guy, but I've been calling him Hugh Hefner because he's just in there with a whole bunch of females, and he has this weird stripe that I'd never seen on him. I don't know, maybe he's like a hybrid, because I did have a sailfin out in the container pond a while ago, but these were basically born of a black molly and these white mollies. I didn't have any marbles, and I don't know, these guys are gray, which they'll probably grow into their black coloration as they get older, but it is what it is. And they're getting along nicely, so I just love to do new things, and with live bearers, getting them into full salinity and breathing them in full salinity, really interesting project. So that's the answer to the why I do all of this with mollies. And also I'll show you, for you guys that use the sponge filters, I have my sponge filter that I had from the 5-gallon. It's been running since this tank was set up, but I'm a real fan of my Aqua Clear, so I created that contraption, which is excellent. Keeps the babies out, keeps the water really well filtered, and it's really easy to make. Just took a feeder cone and some what do you call that, mesh? I forgot what you call it, but it's basically a filter pad, and I just made that. It fits right on there. I can take it off when I want, and the fry don't fit in the little holes. And as you can see, everybody's swimming around. Damn, you were in my face, homie. Yeah, you can see they're not shy. They just come right up to see what the heck I'm talking about. And you can see a good shot of that stripe there also, if I can focus. There it is. But yeah, doing really well, and it helps filter out the water. And everybody's doing fine. And I can also run my filter media in there, which is why I have that Aqua Clear running, because I like to have the carbon while I'm feeding so heavily, and I have so much powder type foods, because the first bites can stay in the water column for a long time. I've even seen my first sign of bristleworm. So if you wonder where bristleworms come from, they don't have to come as hitchhikers. They come as a result of your Chaeto, which would actually make them a hitchhiker. Actually, let me stand corrected. But they can just multiply in the tank, and I kind of like them because they scavenge the bottom constantly for any leftover morsels or anything that is on the floor in the rock that the fish can't get into. And I think they're kind of cool when they poke out. So until next time, this is D, keeping it short, checking out the fry. I love to see these little guys getting along. Family just got that much bigger. And stay tuned, because I am about to set up the 70-gallon outdoor container pond as the weather is getting nice. I'm building a new frame because it was a pain in the neck getting in and out of that thing the way I had it last year. So stay tuned for that. If you got any questions, post them below. Signing out. Just remember, keeping my sanity by keeping my tanks very therapeutic, very relaxing. It is excellent for children to keep them focused, let them learn, and get them into something besides the internet. So I'm going to leave you with that. I'm going to sign out. Love, peace, and hair grace. See ya!